What are irreconcilable differences in a relationship? Some couples use this as the reason for the demise of their marriage or their relationship breakdown. It's when you try to fix things within your relationship, but it just can't be solved through therapy, through compromise. You've tried all these things and you're just at odds as to how to fix this problem. So what happens is, as the marriage continues and you can't fix these ongoing issues, it starts to cause a ripple effect and a breakdown in the communication of your partnership. When you don't communicate as a priority and you don't try to understand how each other is feeling or thinking, this can become a big problem over time, because if you don't take the time to nurture the love between the two of you, there's not a lot of places it can go but spiral down. Sometimes you just can't fix certain things. Sometimes your personalities are just too different. And as we go through life and we change every couple of years, and maybe some of our experiences in life are altering as well, we now are coming home to somebody that we don't see the same way we used to. This is why it's so important to always talk to your partner, because you want to evolve together. You want to grow at a similar pace. You're always going to have a few different interests here and there, but if you get too far off track with how you hang out together, how you communicate together, this will definitely cause a breakdown, because you're not communicating to the way you were in the early stages of your relationship. Some of the bigger irreconcilable differences in a long-term relationship are communication difficulties, where you're just not able to talk to one another anymore, or you have differences of opinion that can't be rectified. You feel one way, they feel another way. It could be something on a political level that you're different in how you view that. And over time, those are big things, because it takes over how you view so many other aspects of your relationship. And if you're not on a similar page with your partner with some of those bigger things, especially financial issues, those kind of things become irreparable, because you just can't find a way to make them work so that you can have a happy medium. You've tried everything. You've tried the counseling. It's not working. Sometimes we grow apart. Sometimes it can't be repaired. But if you're always communicating with your partner about everything, whether it's a disagreement or not, you will find a way most times to be able to fix what's going on. Now, if it is a continual problem that is causing drama, it's a toxic environment to come home to, then you're going to have to take a different route later on. That's just something that happens in some relationships. Be aware of what is forgivable and what is something that you just can't accept. Make sure that you are choosing the right things here, and they're not just small irritants, because the smaller irritants can become big things. But when it's irreconcilable, that means you've tried everything and it's just not working. So understand the difference between sweating the small things and the bigger things that come in to really tarnish your partnership. This is one of the reasons it's very important to get to know someone before you make any major commitments with them. You need to understand how you work together as a team. How honest are you with each other? How much trust is there between you? And what is your communication level like with your partner? Is it easy to talk to them? Can you sit down and have honest conversations with them? Let them know what's going on, what's not happening, what you'd like to see happening. If you start out your relationship like this and make sure you maintain this form of communication throughout, you will probably stay pretty close on course with each other. Don't let stuff go. if it's becoming a thorn in your side, you need to address it. It's really important that you know what each other is thinking and feeling. This is what keeps a relationship strong and the bond healthy. Try not to get defensive if they say something you don't want to hear or you don't like or you think they're pointing fingers at you. A lot of the time what's happening is they just want to share with you, hopefully in a diplomatic way, that something that is maybe a little bit in turmoil between the two of you with how you're dealing with things. Maybe there needs to be more attention given to certain things, and maybe your partner feels it's not happening. Whatever it is, please hear them. If you shut them out because you don't like what they're saying, you're just headed down that wrong hole of where you don't want to be. And that's avoiding the things that need to be talked about. If you start to avoid your partner's concerns or you don't hear their voice anymore, you're already starting down a different path than you should be. We don't always want to hear what somebody's saying. Obviously, it's not always good, but if you want to keep your relationship in a healthy place, you have to hear them. And don't you want to be heard if you have something to say? Like, it's just the way it goes. And people forget to do that. They forget to bond with their partner and sit down and have some of those difficult conversations. Understand the importance of compromise. When you're in a happy place with your partner and you're giving a little, you get stuff back. It's just the way it is. If you're only giving and not getting anything back, well, there's a problem. It must be reciprocated. You're always going to fight once in a while in a relationship because you'll have different viewpoints, and so you should. You don't want to marry somebody who's exactly like you. That would be boring. It's okay to have a few disagreements here and there. You just don't want them to turn into irreconcilable differences because you're not hearing what's going on and you're not paying attention to it. This can be avoided all the time if you grow together. So many people just forget about their partners and start growing in their own direction. And so the partner's sitting at home going, where are they? What's happening? And then they start to go in their own direction. And this is where there's no compromise because you're both off on different spheres, wherever you are. And it doesn't have to be like that. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. You may think you have all these big problems at home. Well, sometimes they're true, but sometimes they're just because you haven't put the energy in to try and even things out in your environment, in your home life with your partner. When you have similar morals and values in the beginning of a relationship, this is something you can sustain over time because you don't always change those values. Those are important to you from day one. And so if you share that with a partner early on, that can really help you sustain a healthy relationship because you're on very similar ground with each other. And a lot of people forget about that. Be flexible. Do things you don't normally do. Offer suggestions to your partner to go somewhere, do something that just is out of the norm. And that way, that keeps a little excitement alive in your relationship as well. And that's what usually happens. A lot of things die down because you're just together for so long. But if you're always nurturing and maintaining the connection between the two of you, you won't have that problem. Because I can tell you, it is worth every ounce of energy put into your relationship to nurture the love you share. Because if you've been together for 10, 15, 20 years, and most of it's been pretty good, it's really worth working on. You don't want to be another irreconcilable difference statistic when you could have done the work to better your partnership. Thank you so much for tuning in to Dear Sybersue today. Please subscribe, please click like, and please leave any questions or comments you have under the video. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.